Senate Labor, Commerce, and Industry Committee meeting to order on Thursday, March 13th, 2014. Thank you for being here. We've got members present and proxies in hand, so we will proceed to the order of the day. Our first order of business is confirmation. Mr. William Lee McCullough to the South Carolina Athletics Commission. He's from Beaufort, South Carolina. If you would come to the chair there, make sure the green light is on. And as for the record, I had a conversation, and I'm not sure that the senator from Beaufort, Senator Davis, is going to be able to be here with us, but he has communicated to me verbally his high regard for you. So we appreciate your willingness to serve, and we've got some procedural things that we need to go through for you this morning. So, and before we start, and before I swear you in, I believe you tell me that your daughter is with you. Would you please introduce her?
I would be happy to. This is my daughter, Kira McCullough. By coincidence, we are actually on our way. We're coming from Beaufort, which of course is a 3-hour trip from here. We are leaving directly from here to drive about another 11 hours straight to Erie, Pennsylvania for my grandmother's 100th birthday. So that's a long father-daughter trip.
Well, that's one. Enjoy that time together.
Thank you.
He's going to be screened for the statewide. Oh, who's driving? Is she old enough to drive?
She's been asking, but it's she does have her permit. So we'll see.
He's being screened for the statewide appointment to the 1st Congressional District to the South Carolina State Athletics Commission, with a term from June of 2014 and expiring in June 30th, 2018. I would ask that you please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you, sir. If you would please briefly tell us a little bit about yourself and why you would be interested in serving on the South Carolina Athletics Commission.
Absolutely. First, thank you all for allowing me this opportunity to be here and potentially serve. As you said, my name is Will McCullough. I'm coming from the Beaufort, South Carolina area. I first came to Beaufort in 1993 to serve as a drill instructor for the Marine Corps aboard Parris Island. And I loved it. I loved the Marine Corps. I loved every moment that I was in it. But I loved Beaufort more, and I wanted to have an opportunity to kind of put down roots and raise a family. And that apparently worked out well. So we're happy in that area. So I left the Marine Corps in 1997, and we've been involved in the real estate industry ever since in one form or another in the Beaufort area. I have, with regard to specifics regarding the Athletic Commission and why, it's not just something I'd like to do. It's really the realization of a dream. It might sound corny and over the top, but it's actually true. I have in excess of 30 years of experience with regard to combative arts. And by combative arts, I mean pretty much every one of them. Boxing, wrestling, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and what has now became MMA. I've been a fighter. I've been a coach. I've been a referee. I've been a judge. I was a close combat instructor for the Marine Corps. I've overseen and judged literally thousands in one way or another of contests, individual contests, for people competing in that type of thing. And their safety, even as a Marine, their safety is very important to me. I'm at a point in my life, age-wise, where that's not something I can easily participate in anymore and still look myself in the mirror for much longer after. So this allows me, although it's cliche, to give back to that community. The fighting community in one form or another has really made me what I am as a man and as a person, and it allows me to, one, give back to that community, and also to give back to the state that has been very, very genuinely good to me. That's it.
Okay. Staff has received your personal data questionnaire. They've reviewed your statement of economic interest form, as well as SLED background, credit report, driving record. They've been reviewed and found to be complete with the information that's been requested, and references have been provided as well. Are there any additions, deletions, or any changes whatsoever you need to make to any of the information you've submitted to the committee since you submitted that information?
No, sir.
Staff has some questions for you, so I'll turn it over to Lisa if you would respond to her questions. I'd appreciate it.
Good morning, Mr. McCullough.
Good morning.
Do you or any member of your family own or operate any business which contracts with state or federal government?
No, ma'am.
Do you or any member of your family own or operate any business which receives state or federal funds from the board to which you are being appointed?
No.
Have you ever been arrested, charged, or held by federal, state, or other law enforcement authorities for violation of the law, regulation, or ordinance, not including traffic violations, which a fine of $200 or less was imposed?
No.
Have you, to your knowledge, ever been under federal, state, or local investigation for possible violation of a criminal statute?
No.
Have federal, state, or local authorities ever instituted a tax lien or other collection procedure against you personally? Committee members, he's explained fully in answering question number 20 on his PDQ on page 5 regarding a housing issue with the downturn of the economy. And I don't know if you want to expand on that or just
At either request or not.
okay. Have you ever been disciplined or cited for a breach of ethics or unprofessional conduct by any court, agency, association, or professional group?
No.
Are you now or have you ever been employed as a lobbyist or acted in the capacity of a lobbyist principal?
No, ma'am.
Do you know of any circumstances that would limit your term of service on this board or commission?
No.
Do you understand the obligations and responsibilities of the position on the South Carolina State Athletics Commission?
Yes.
Are there any reasons you would have difficulty performing the duties of this appointment?
No.
Is there any other comment that you would like to make to the committee?
Not at this time.
Thank you, Mr. McCullough. Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Let me at this point turn it over to the members of the committee to see if there's any questions from any of the committee members. Yes, sir, the senator from Greenville. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'll be brief. I actually have a meeting in a few minutes now that I have to go to. Thanks for coming and thanks for being willing to take the challenge. You mentioned karate, kickboxing, MMA, and things like that as things that you've partaken in and that you are.
It's effectively been my life.
Right. Fantastic. Do you know the role that the state athletic commission plays in these type of things?
Yes, I do. In a nutshell, to regulate the operations of the individuals who are competing or participating, as well as promotional licensing of same across all professional based combat arts, which I believe is for the state. And here's where I may go foggy. I apologize. We boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, of course now MMA. And I think this is where I'm fuzzy off the street boxing, with so-called tough man contest. I believe those are regulated in the same arena.
Okay. Were you aware of an incident that happened? I guess it's been a couple, 3 months ago, about a MMA type event that was taking place in Myrtle Beach and got canceled at the last minute. Were you aware of that?
To be totally frank, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Well, there was an event scheduled down at the coast that people flew in from all over the country to participate. Okay, thousands of dollars were spent to get this thing together, and at the last minute, the permits weren't issued to let it go through. Now, I'm sure that we could hear good arguments on both sides as to whether or not, the event should have took place, shouldn't have took place, or whatever. But the problem I had is that the process, the permitting process needs to be tightened up. When folks apply for a permit or whatever to hold an event such as this, there needs to be a protocol in place that will either grant that permit or deny that permit in sufficient time as to handle the advertising and the well-being, so to speak, of the event, so that things like this don't happen anymore. Like I said, people flew in from all over the country at the last minute. The permit wasn't issued, right? And that was troublesome. So if and when you're appointed, I sure hope you will address that issue or do your part to address it, that things like this are tightened up.
While I can't obviously speak on the specifics of that issue, in general, things being done efficiently but correctly is what wakes me up.
Exactly, and also certain members of the community, and I'll be frank with those who were in favor of the match, some of the promoters and whatnot felt like they were discriminated against. Not necessarily them particularly, possibly them particularly, because there is competition among promoters, but more in the fact of the tight fighting it is. Now, personally, I think it's lunacy to get in a cage with somebody else and just beat each other half to death for no reason. But this is America. If you want to do it, I suppose you have the right to do it.
And I would think that would, and I mean no disrespect, sir, but that would be a misrepresentation of that sport. It's very technical. I think it's safer than most.
But, well, I would tend to agree with you. I would say, my son takes karate, and
Excellent.
I'm all in favor of what you stand for. I just making a comment, but I would hope that you would work, if you're appointed, you would work to improve the permitting process, just so that things like this don't happen, so that last minute, get the rug pulled out from under it last minute, because things like that don't need to be happening. It needs to be issued or not issued in sufficient time, and everybody needs to be, to know what's going on.
I take what you have to say seriously, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that that would not happen again.
I'm impressed with the knowledge of the senator from Greenville on the subject and stuff. So if there are no other questions, I would entertain. Again, for the members that have come in, Senator Davis has certainly expressed his support and high regard. Mr. McCullough, I apologize he's not able to be here, but I would entertain a motion for approval. So moved. Second. Yes. Yeah. you're talking about Mr. McCullough, right? Chairman. Yes, sir. Senator from Marion.
Thank you. I just have one question
Yes, sir.
for Mr. McCullough. I wonder, do you give private lessons?
For the longest time, just off on a little bit of a caveat, while I was still a Marine, I started teaching private lessons on the side, and that took off, and that's allowed us to open our school in the Beaufort area. And when we opened it in Beaufort in 1996, it was the 8th school in the nation endorsed by the UFC, and it did well, and that kind of grew into everything. So no, I am too old and too beat up, too willing to jump on the opportunity to sit and talk about things like this.
And I'm probably in that same category, too old to be taught.
Never too old to be taught. We got a motion and a second, numerous seconds. Are there any other discussion or questions? If not, we'll go immediately to the vote. All in favor of recommending confirmation to the full Senate would say aye. Opposed, no. Let the record reflect it's unanimous, and we congratulate you on the Senate committee confirmation. We'll refer you with our recommendation to the full Senate. But be safe in your travels up to Pennsylvania today, and I think it's wonderful. 100th anniversary and birthday celebration and stuff. And Senator will reflect that the Senator from Beaufort also seconded the motion for and I'd already shared your but please, Senator.
No, I apologize for being late. I was down in the Medical Affairs Committee on the medical marijuana bill and had several constituents, but you probably already heard all about Will, and
we've confirmed him. So but now
the old adage is, when the judge has ruled your favor, don't say anything. But this is a great nomination. It's going to be a great yes.
I've shared your support with him and with the committee, and we appreciate your speaking so highly of him. So thank you. Be safe in your travels.
I will, and thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to ask that the